Hey guys, new video here. There's a patch coming. It might come tomorrow or the next day. They're still trying to get out as fast as possible. It's going to fix rogue AI, which means that when you do a door, you assign them to it, they will open that door and they'll probably kind of prioritize that over anything else. And they're also going to increase the distance in which you can move away. So right now, if you send a rogue to go do something, like let's say that waypoint is the door, the rogue will go to it, they'll start their little cast bar, or sometimes there is no cast bar. But if you move away, like if you're sitting here and you go like this, or like if they ever disappear off screen, they will stop doing that job and then they'll try to come and find you, right? So that is going away. We don't know how much distance increased it is, but with the changes to they try to do the job no matter what, and they don't like follow you when you go away to like kill mobs. That will make things a lot better, and it will make it feel so much smoother. Because like probably the most annoying thing right now is like waiting for those doors, especially if you have a longer animation like an agility, a demolition, things like that, and especially if they bug out, so you have to do them twice, right? It's kind of like, imagine if you're like doing something in the game, like you're rolling a map, you're rolling some type of content, and then once you're done rolling, you have to do it again, right? It's like you're ouching and like using delirium orbs on your map and like make sure it's perfect, using fossils on it to make sure you don't roll like certain mods, and then afterwards it's just like halfway through it just becomes a white map again, right? That'd be super like cringe, and you'd be pretty mad. So all that annoying stuff is going away after the patch, and I hope you guys try it. So in this video I want to talk about like what should you do after the patch, because there's been a lot of like mini hot fixes and little things. They adjust little things here and there. So what I want to do is I wanted to run the contracts that I had heard were good, or that like I had good experiences with again as of yesterday. I wanted to run 30 of each contract and kind of like see where where the currency falls. Like is some like way better than others? Is some like, does some like feel bad if you do it too many in a row? And kind of just really thinking about all the little minutia that goes into it. Don't pay attention to what's in these dump tabs. This is from today's farming session. The numbers at the top though are I was like tracking these like before in different dump tabs. The numbers at the top are the C value tracked with excellence next of each of these contracts after 30 of them run. The criteria was that they were all 81 to 83. Actually, for this test, they were all 83, actually, to keep them kind of even. They were all ouch so that they got the alert level. I did not corrupt them because I didn't want to, I was too lazy to re-roll them if they corrupted badly, or if they corrupted in a good way, it might like influence things. So I just ouched them to make sure that they were mods that I could run, and then I just did 30 in a row and then dumped it and then excellenced it. So first we have lockpicking, and lockpicking is really good. I would always recommend this after the patch because Karst very rarely bugs that. He's one of the most reliable masters. Lockpicking is pretty fast. Job speed seems to work with it, I think. I'm not sure if it's bugged or not, but yeah, this is the most raw currency that you can get. So if you don't like converting things or like selling like little items, maybe div cards worth a few C, essences, fragments, things like that, fossils especially, then because any of these small chests can drop anything, well, then you're going to want to do Karst. Karst is the most liquid currency you can get, and then he's fat. All the rooms are exciting, right? If you get a weapon room, I'm just going to pull up, let me see if I can pull this up here, like a little Chrome browser, so you can see like the types of rewards that are in here. Let's see here, Google Chrome. And there we go. Okay, so the lockpicking, you have jewelry, C, and the fragment, and the what I've noticed is that the currency rooms show up like probably more than half the time. It's highly unlikely that you go back to back contracts of lockpicking without a currency. So very good spawn rate. Jewelry's not bad. Okay, jewelry, synthesized rings and stuff like that can be extremely valuable if you get one of the like chase items, right? Maybe you get an arcane surgeon, an onslaught ring, or something like that. So jewelry rooms I would do, but obviously behind currency because now it's consistent. And then fragments is actually pretty good. Now you might think like fragments, sack frags are like 5 to 1, 10 to 1, whatever, but actually you get a lot of shaper fragments, you get a lot of elder fragments, and you also get things that are in the fragment tab, which are things like scarabs, offerings. If you get a gift of the goddess, that's like 40C right now, and that might like spike up and down. So really good to get the fragment rooms as well. So it goes like probably like priority like C, the C icon, the fragment icon, then the jewelry icon. But like you should have no problem getting all those with Karst. I really enjoyed it. There wasn't anything annoying about running the There's nothing annoying about running the lockpicking. Like, Cars is really cool, his voice sounds are cool, and yeah, no issues with those. And the types of blueprints that those lockpickings are on are usually like pretty good like mob density on the way out, so you can kind of like get a little bit of XP as well. And yeah, so lockpicking is definitely like my first and foremost go-to contract for making the money. It's just all around, it's just great. The one bad thing, I guess, is that if you do lockpicking, Cars has to open all the chests for you. So after he unlocks the door, if there's 2 chests behind there, he's gonna have to go through his animation twice, which isn't so big a deal. But just keep that in mind, you know, because like some of them you can just click. For example, Deception. So Deception, so 514C, like average value for 30 lockpicking contracts, okay, at level 83. Deception, 397C value over 30. Now, Gianna's really bugged out sometimes on the doors, but after this patch, that will not be an issue. Now, Deception has some huge benefits that are going to make it maybe better than lockpicking, and that is, number one, on the way out, there's no doors. There's never any doors. So, like, you get to the end, you grab the thing, and when you run out, you don't have to stop for anything. You can ignore every mob if you want. If you have a headhunter, you can kill the rare mobs and just like speed through there. And there, you know, there's no waiting for doors after you initially get in there. That's crazy, right? So this makes it many times better for the speedy boy who does, or someone who relies on stacks, or like you don't want to wait around. You don't want to like risk getting one shot as the door opens, right? There's a lot of that happening these days. So that kind of helps, okay, because you don't have to deal with any of that. And also, good thing about Gianna is that it is a fun jamble, right? People love jambling in this game, and you get a ton of these stack dicks, okay? Each chest that is from the Deception, if it is a divination chest, you can get like 3 to 4 at level 81 plus. These contracts are 3 to 4 stack dicks in each one, and then alongside the stack dicks, which will almost always drop, you will get a few cards that might show up on your filter, right? These cards are usually going to be 1C cards, maybe even less sometimes, but they might be like cool cards that you can turn in for something like unique, like maybe like the Void or Arrogance of the Whale or something like that. But sometimes I've heard people have dropped like Nurse, Doctor, Fiend, all those good cards. There is a chance it can drop any of the cards, and so that's pretty cool. Okay, so you have no, after the patch, Deception should always be a really fun contract run. And then the second huge thing, okay, this is absolutely massive that people don't usually think about. You see how this says 397C value and the lockpicking is 514, right? So lockpicking has obviously the liquid currency, but Deception has the reveals. And what a reveal is let me go here. So if we go here and we go to our Rogue Harbor, and you want to do a blueprint one day, and you have, like, say, given you have the coins, you're going to take your blueprint and to check the Wakano here, right? You see this, like, he has 76 reveals. You have to have reveals if you want to run blueprints. Obviously, you can buy from the trade site, you can buy from your friends, you can buy already revealed, right? You can like split or duplicate blueprints later on if there's a really godly one, and then you don't have to worry about coins. But for the most of us, we are going to need coins. And let's just take a look at this real quick. So if you look at this, Wakano is what everyone uses. These arrows will shift between, if you max out your Gianna, 40% discount, right? Look at this. 2.9 thousand coins, okay? 1,000 coins right now, like let's say like 50C, I think, is like 20,000 coins, or it's like 500 to 1, I think. So that means that revealing this wing is like 6C, okay? That's crazy. And then this wing is also like maybe like 5, let's just say like 5C, let's say that's 11C. But if you use Gianna, and the way you get Gianna reveals is by completing any contract with her, not blueprints, that might actually be like added later. That might be a bug, I don't know. But for contracts, when you successfully complete one, meaning you take the idol and make it out alive, she will get 1 reveal. And you also get a Wakano reveal if you wear like a little tool with her that says like chance to generate an additional Wakano reveal. You can get like 2 point something on average. But for this GI, look at this, 1.7 plus 1.6 is 3.3. 3.3 is pretty much the cost of a, look at that, it's like almost the cost of a single reveal there, right? So you are saving 40%. I'll say it's like 10C for the Wakanos, right? You are saving 4C for these 2 wings. Now that doesn't sound like much, but you would be surprised at how fast you can run through these reveals. Even if you get like 2 255, which is the limit. If you go over that, it doesn't actually stack. Even if you get the limit, it is so quick to run out of them, because after you reveal a wing, you have to reveal the little rooms inside. And look at these prices, right? Like this one's like not even that good because it's a level 72. But look at that, like 700, 500, and you see, look, 350 and 420. So make sure you farm up your Giant reveals, and that is why the deception in the long run, if you enjoy heisting, might actually bump out the lockpicking for the number one spot, because all this C, this pure C that you have to buy the coins in, because like you very rarely pick up all those stacks in maps, right? Because the juicier your map is, the more stacks there are, the more annoying gets to pick up. So you will save so much if you run deception and just stock up these for the future when you run blueprints. And blueprints are actually very they're very profitable right now. Ouch and go blueprints, random blueprints, garbage blueprints that don't have any currency nodes on them, it doesn't matter. Blueprints are so much better than contracts because of how many wings they have and how many dense rewards that they have. Okay, so with that said, that's deception, and why I think that you should always run deception once in a while. And then the next one we have to talk about is let me go to my tab here, is the brute force. Now, once again, I got debated into this because people are saying they're making hella money off the fossils. Fossils do sell in bulk, but you just don't get that many of them, because even with the 83s, the Tibs, you can open 2 chests on the way out, pretty cool. But even opening every chest, the fossil was like kind of rare, like not rare, but as in like you don't always get 3 fossil rooms, right? In fact, I very rarely ever got like 2 fossil rooms. If a fossil room showed up in an 83 contract, it was usually by itself, and because of that, it came in at 356 currency value, and in here there was 1 exalt included. Okay, and that actually in the lockpicking there was an inspired learning that sold for 50C in there, so that's I guess a little bit of an outlier. But in this one, it 1 exalt pure drop from my trinket, and because of that, let's say this is actually like more like 300 C value, with you have to sell all the fossils and you have to sell all the other little things, right? If you look on this chart, the brute force, the other things are weapons. Weapons are kind of good because you could get an insane 100 exalt item, right? You can get a explodey bow that has I don't know, +1 to all level of gems, +1 to support gem, whatever, right? You can get these insane items in there. You could. Are you going to? You're probably going to end up with like a Karui chopper that has like the synthesized mod of like gain life on hit or something. Okay, it's kind of a huge gamble. It's like winning the lottery, but it could happen. And then the uniques, everybody knows uniques are trash. Okay, you could drop a head hunter, you could drop a badge of the brotherhood, which is like going up in price, by the way, a lot. So you could drop these tier 1, tier 0 items that are worth like 60, 70 exalts. But in all of my testing, okay, and they can drop league specific quite often now that I've tested it a little bit, it's probably not going to happen to you, right? So brute force, I'd say I would really put this at like low priority. Like maybe if you're struggling on contracts, or like you don't have any contracts and you just want to run something, sure, you're gonna make some money, but it's pretty garbage. Next, counter thaumaturgy. Okay, so counter thaumaturgy was actually kind of surprising, because if you look on this chart, counter thaumaturgy has currencies for some reason. It's counter thaumaturgy and grand heist or heist if the currency icon, that C is smaller. It's like 3 times smaller than a lockpicking icon for some reason. So if you have like 2, like one's like a big Chowzor, one's like a small one, that's just it makes it easier to miss the room. Like sometimes I'll just like excuse me, sometimes I'll just like walk past the room on accident because I can't see the icons and my main map's kind of small. So just be careful with that. But it's interesting because it shares 2 of the rewards with lockpicking. So it's pretty much just as good, right? And then instead of fragments, you get gems. The only thing holding this back is counter thaumaturgy doors are kind of bugged out. If you ever use Niles, okay, it's pretty hilarious because Niles is like the worst master. Once again, after the patch, this will all be fixed. But counter thaumaturgy, if you don't count the annoyance with the doors and how like she has to open the chest as well, which can get bugged out in a sense of you don't lose the chest, but you'll think that they're doing it and then they don't. Or like there's like animation bar but it doesn't go through, or there's no animation bar but they never do it. So counter thaumaturgy is good because gems, you can get in power 3, enlighten 3, enlighten 4, and power 4, all these crazy gems, 21 gems, 21 23, 21 23 corrupted, like all these insanely valuable gems. Like for example, a blade vortex 2120, that's the corrupted version, the whale blade vortex is like 8 exalts, right? And you could just drop that one from these gem rooms. So actually, if I had to choose between fragments from lockpicking or gems from counter thaumaturgy, because that's the only difference, I don't know which one I'd choose, actually. I think they're just as good. So counter thaumaturgy should be as good as lockpicking. And the numbers are okay, like 460 value with no crazy outliers in the Excellence Next tracking for counter thaumaturgy. I use Nanette, and Nanette's kind of cool because Nanette is global reduction. In fact, she's the best global reduction because she has the 20% less multiplier, and so that means your small chest openings and your big chest openings are reduced in alert level, right? With Karst, you know that you can open all the big chests and the alert doesn't go up that much because he's really strong against big chests. But Nanette is a slightly less strong against big chests, but then she's also strong against small chests, right? Karst does not actually give you any reduction on small chests. So it evens out kind of, and I'd say overall, like Nanette is like pretty damn good. She is like, you know, and also her voice lines are really cool too. So she's not annoying like Gianna is, I guess. So that is counter thaumaturgy, and I would highly recommend this. You know, lots of gems are instantly sellable. Worst case scenario, you filter out your low quality gems and you just drop a GCP, right? Plenty of 20% quality gems drop from these chests, and then so you can turn them into GCP, turn the GCP into exalts. Counter thaumaturgy, very, very good. Will be better after the patch. Definitely run counter thaumaturgy if you have them. And then the next one is demo. Now, demo is super interesting because demolition is the thing about the annoyance I was talking about with like the if they go through the longer animation and then you walk away and they have to redo the bomb, because the bombing of a door is a cast bar that you can see on them, and then once they do the cast bar, they run away and they sit down and then do that shield and then it blows the door, right? So it's like actually longer than you might think. In fact, it might be kind of it's still behind agility, but like not by that much. So demo is kind of annoying right now when they bug, but after the patch it is, I think, worth running if you enjoy selling commodities or running like delirium orbs or putting down simulacrums, because with demo, you see how it's like higher than lockpicking by just a small amount, and this can be like, obviously it's like variance, but 519 C in value from 30 demos without any good outliers, and that is because you have delirium orbs. Okay, so delirium orbs can often be 4C, 6C, 10C, maybe a little bit more, and so you have to sell those though, right? If you don't sell those, you don't actually have the money. And same thing with simulacrums. If you don't put together a simulacrum and sell that, if you don't put together like these little things, like, you know, for if you look on demolition chart, it has metamorph 2 and blighted map. You don't sell your blighted map, you don't sell your prismatic or your fertile catalyst, you don't actually have that money, right? It's not, you can't spend it. So it takes a little bit more selling, but the value is definitely there. In my experience, delirium orbs, all those things like the good catalysts and stuff, they will sell. It just might take a little bit more work on your part. Oil's kind of annoying if you have the lower ones shown, but you know, an opalescent, a silver, a golden oil, it's still a little bit of something, and you might need those oils later to anoint something, and it's better to have it on hand than to have to go trade for it. So I'd say demolition worth running if you don't mind the animation. Try it out after the patch to see how annoying the demolition animations are, and then go from there, right? But definitely worth doing it from a money standpoint. So that's the data. Today, just a little recap of today. I ran like 3 of these tests today, and the other 2 were yesterday. Today we did 50 heist. I didn't do any maps once again. I did 50 heist encounters. Let's see, 40 of them. Let me just pull up my map watch here so that I have this image here that I saved. Okay, so yeah, we did 50 maps, and it counts them as maps for some reason, but it's like 10 blueprints and 40 contracts. Pretty good, right? Pretty good amount. And one thing I'll say about today is that if you look at my time in map, that averages out the blueprints, right? You don't spend 6 minutes in a contract, but look at the time in town, and it was really interesting because my time in town on average, right, is like I'm in town today 15% of the time, and there's always a strategy. You know, the hideout is lava, right? The rogue harbor is lava. You want to get out of your whatever like AFK zone you're in and get into some content so that you can be making more months. Obviously I'm streaming, so a lot of times when I'm talking to chat, I'm doing things, we're looking at memes, you know, watching videos or whatever, just talking about stuff where you're not as efficient. But like 15% of the time being in town is pretty high, right? Now I like dumped a lot of stuff, so it's like, yeah, there's going to be some sorting, right? And with stash of tab affinities coming out, maybe a little bit less, but there's always like some amount of sorting that's going to cut into your time in town. You can't get like, you know, 1% time in town probably, but just keep it in mind that, you know, these numbers here, your time in town is very important to keep in mind if you enjoy the content, right? Like get out of town, get into the content. And I tried my best to do that in between the contracts and the blueprints. And so from 10 blueprints run and 40 contracts run today, we made a total of I didn't pull anything from the dump tabs except for the currencies that you see here. So this is actually, this blueprint was actually for to show you something earlier, so we won't count that. So it was 27 exalts and 461 raw C from 50 pieces of heist content, right? Obviously I have an expensive trinket, so if you factor that in, you know, 27 raw exalts and 461 C. I didn't, this is without anything else, right? 461 C is maybe, is that like 7 exalts? Let's just say that's like 7 point something exalts, right? So 7 plus 27, that's 34 raw exalts, because you could convert this right now. 34 raw exalts from 50 pieces of content. Yeah, I dropped 240 regals, I think. So 240 regals times 0.04 would be about 9 to 10 exalts. So 9 to 10 exalts of this profit here is from pure drops from the trinket. Okay, just a little bit of data there. Trinket's pretty amazing. And this is, of course, adding up the shards that you'll drop as well. Okay, the blueprints I ran are insane. Blueprints are just like so good. But it's kind of hard to run them because we're kind of stressed on coins. But yeah, get a trinket if you like heist. I can't stress this enough. And it will eventually pay for itself. Okay, if you count this 37 exalts and then you start pulling currencies from these dump tabs here, you know, you're gonna have way more, and that's 1 day of farming from just heist. I don't do maps anymore. I really like it, you know. Maybe give it a shot. All right, the VOD is available if you want to see the kind of stuff that was like how they were run, or like the little minutia. I have previous videos about things like that, about how you should run it, you know, why your heist might not be very fun, like why your heist might be like kind of feeling bad, and how I gear my stuff and all that, how I gear my rogues. And yeah, that is the daily update here, daily video. Cool. Anything else? Nope, that's about it. Get out of your hideout. Hideout is lava. Just keep running content. You'll have the muns, right? So like today I'll probably just upgrade a few cluster jewels, or I might upgrade my rogue gear. I'm not really sure yet. And yep. If you have any questions, you can ask me on my stream. I stream in the evenings, twitch.tv/qtalk_. Okay, thanks for watching my video. Bye. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching my video. Bye.